Welcome everyone. I'm going to be talking about Kricketune today, and I'm super hyped to get right into it. Before I can do that though, I got to quickly make a little disclaimer. If you are new here and you just happen to click on this, don't click away, don't leave the video. Make sure that you do actually either after the video or during the video, check out the description below. In the description, there is a link to the Google Sheet that I use in all of my videos, and this is the Google Sheet for the ROM hack, and it's extremely detailed and very in-depth, and the most important part of that is that you have this little move guide here. There's tons of other really cool stuff that you can explore on the bottom that's useful, but most importantly that I want to mention is this move guide where you can see all of the buffs and changes for every move and all of the new moves and what those do, because there's 130 new moves, let alone the fact that basically every actual move in the game or original move in the game is changed for the most part. So definitely give those a look. All right. With that being said, Kricketune has some absolutely amazing buffs. Kricketune was absolute garbage, and it's kind of sad because it's a pretty cool design, and I also just really like bug types. So they now have one of my favorite abilities of all time, Tinted Lens, and it's also one of the best offensive abilities in the game. And it's really incredible, and obviously Technician is also great. Keep in mind, in this ROM hack, you do have access to infinite usability capsules, so you can and should be switching between your abilities depending on the situation. Kricketune in general will be totally fine until level 20. I mean, it has really good stats for that point, and it has great abilities and a good typing. Yes, the typing is bug normal, reason being normal type is sound type in Pokemon. That's like a canonical thing. And I wanted one Pokemon of every single type combination in this hack, and there is one of every single type combination, and therefore Kricketune fit the most as the bug normal type. Because again, sound, you know, it looks like a cello and it makes noise and stuff, so bug normal. Yeah, and that fits them really well, and that's an incredible dual stab typing. Obviously, the coverage in terms of dual stab isn't that great, but in terms of with Tinted Lens, just having that dual stab is super nice, and you gain a ghost immunity, which is great because Kricketune is paper thin. You aren't living strong fighting type hits anyways, so it's nice to have that completely free switch in on ghost moves, which is also one of the best offensive types in the game. So it's a really good typing for it. And if you go to the where is it? Bug and ice type buffs, you can see that bug is also much better offensively, but I'm not going to talk about that too much. And by much better I mean that 3 types don't resist anymore that used to, but it doesn't really matter because you have Tinted Lens, although, you know, with Technician that's really useful. So I'm going to get into it. Tinted Lens is a very straightforward ability. You have all kinds of powerful stab moves that you can just completely spam, and you have great setup with Swords Dance, Nasty Plot, and Quiver Dance, and you can just spam your stab moves. You have Boom Burst, which is like later on in the game, you know, around 8 Foundation. You have Finishing Blow, which is really great for with Tinted Lens. It also works great with Technician. There's so many moves with Technician, so that's the more in-depth part of the video. Not that it's better than Tinted Lens, because it's not, I would argue. I mean, they're both definitely equal in terms of how much you could be using them, but you could even argue Tinted Lens is overall better. But Technician is still incredible because of the move pool and all the new moves. So yeah, Tinted Lens is very straightforward. I'm not going to get into it too much. It's a great ability, super awesome. You can spam your stab moves without being resisted by anything besides 4 times just debug and then ghost types, of course, which you have coverage for anyways. But yeah, Technician is going to take a little bit longer. Also, stat-wise, you know, all the 480 base total mons in the hack for the most part are they're level 20 evolutions, and that's not to say that they're only good at the beginning of the game. They are absolutely incredible until literally the end of the entire game, and that was intentional. That's a balancing thing. So because of the moves that Kricketune learns, especially, he is incredible for the whole game, not to mention the abilities are great. And his stats are solid. I mean, 101 speed is a really good speed tier, and then you got 101 offenses, and that's all you need. I mean, the bulk, yeah, he's frail, but of course he's going to be frail. You know, and also there's all kinds of slow pivots you can use. You can use infinite use eject button to get your Kricketune on the field, or you can use slow parting shots or intimidate or whatever else. You even just slow U-turn and volt switch, which a lot of Pokemon have now. Parting shot in general is on like most Pokemon, so really easy to get it on the field, okay? Easy to take advantage of that. That being said, Technician has all kinds of incredible moves to abuse with, and I'm going to go through them right now in order, starting with the level of moves. So you have Echoed Voice, which technically is Technician boosted, Infestation, which is 75 base power with Technician, and it lasts for 12 turns, which is really awesome. Swift is 83.5 base power and a +2 priority move with Technician. I'm going to be listing all the power with Technician, by the way, so just keep that in mind. This is not the real power of the moves, it's with Technician. But yeah, Swift, very powerful. Priority moves, you also have, Silver Gale, Quick Attack, and Creeping Strike, all of which are 75 base power, Technician boosted stab moves. And priority moves, of course, and you have Fake Out as well, which is the same. So those are all really awesome. And then you have Mega Drain and Siphon, which are 90 base power, and heals 75% of your HP, or 75 base power and heals 100% of your HP, with Siphon being stab, of course, so it's stronger than a Mega Drain. But those are both really great moves as well. Disarming Voice and Dismal Cry are both 90 base power with Technician, and they always drop the opponent's attack or special attack, attack and special attack, excuse me. Harmonize and Struggle Bug do the same thing, but they are stab moves. Harmonize and Struggle Bug, obviously, fitting really well. Also, quickly, I want to mention I did consider Amplifier, but Amplifier is only at 1.2 times boost, and while that's really good for some Pokemon, like, you know, Chameko, Exploud, and Flygon and stuff, it's not good enough for Kricketune because your other ability is much stronger than Amplifier with Technician, so Tinted Lens is a much better ability to switch between. Not to mention, Tinted Lens fits him very well, in my opinion. I mean, even fucking weird bugs like Illumise and shit get it, so I don't see why Kricketune can't, but yeah, that's really awesome. Struggle Bug and Harmonize, that's where I left off. So then you have Fury Cutter, which could be used similar with Echoed Voice. Those are also great with Technician. Sorry, with Tinted Lens. They do have a small chance of missing, but other than that, they are pretty solid with Tinted Lens because you are resisted, so you can just spam those with Metronome or something. Keep in mind, though, that it can miss, and that in general, that's not the most viable strategy in a hack. That's this difficult here. Not that it's like unfairly difficult. It's going to be very balanced to a very like fair strategic play, but those moves are not that great. Or at least I'm not a big fan of them. Skitter Smack. Actually, no, sorry, it's not Technician boosted. Metal Claw is what I meant to say. Metal Claw becomes 90 base power, and that's a great coverage move with Technician. Leech Life is 90 base power of Technician, and it heals 100% of your HP, so that's insane. And then Fury Swipes and Pummel and Pin Missile are all multi-hit 25 base power moves, with Pin Missile being stab, and then you have Dark and Fighting coverage there, which are very, very strong with Technician. And then you have Finishing Blow, which becomes 80 base power almost with Technician, and you get a +3 attack boost when you kill something with that, so that's really fucking great. And that again works great with Tinted Lens as well, because you can just use that to finish off a Pokemon, regardless of what type they are, and that's really awesome. Bug with Tinted Lens in general is just absolutely god tier in this hack. I love it. I love Tinted Lens, if you can't tell. And you have like Quiver Dance, which is really great with those abilities. And lastly, by level up, your strongest Technician boosted move is Bug Bomber, which is essentially special bug type surging strikes, and that becomes a whopping what 112.5 times 1.5. I mean, I do have a little Technician guide here. You can click to see all the boosted moves, and all of the power is listed there, and that's super handy. But yeah, that's 168 base power. It is absolutely incredibly strong. Awesome move right there. And it also bypasses 30 and Focus Sash and Multi-Scale and all that stuff because it hits 3 times. So that's really fucking strong. Obviously, that's your last move that you'll learn, besides maybe like a couple of TMs like Close Combat and Uproar. Well, Uproar is level up. But back on topic, lastly, I want to go to the TMs, which are Technician boosted. So you have, in order, Grass Knot technically, but more importantly, you got Bug Biting, which is 105 base power Technician, and you have Covet, which is 90 base power Technician, and that's Fairy type. Knock Off, 90 base power always with Technician. Electro Web, 90 base power Technician. Power Up Punch, 75 base power Technician, and I actually thought Power Up Punch was weird, but apparently they learned it in Gen 6 via TM, so I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it to them since it's a TM in this game now. And because it's really nice with Technician. Steel Wing is 60 base power and always gives you +1 defense, so that's great with Technician as well, and it's solid coverage, 90 base power. Acrobatics could be 75 base power with Technician or 100 base power without an item, either one. First Impression is one of your best moves as well via TM. That's incredible with Tinted Lens, because again, unresisted First Impression is god tier, and then obviously other Pokemon have that as well, but it's still really great. And then of course with Technician, that is boosted to 135 base power, because First Impression is 60 base power, but it always crits, so it's 135 overall. And that's it. That's it with Technician. You have tons of other really good coverage moves and great utility options. Even just the stat dropping moves that you have with, like, you know, the Disarming Voice, Dismal Cry type moves. It's just got everything it would ever want. It's such an awesome buff and change here. I love these changes. Hopefully this video was thorough, but also relatively brief. Hopefully this didn't go over 10 minutes. Thank you so much for listening, and I will be back for more buffs and changes. There are a couple other things I could have covered, but honestly, just check them out in the description down below. Like, I guess I could mention Webs is great. Synchro Noise is great because I gave it to him right before Guzma, the first Guzma fight, and that's 120 base power, normal type move that will always give you a special attack boost, so you could spam that versus Guzma with Tinted Lens, and that would be really awesome. Yeah, that's really about it. I'll leave it off there. All kinds of awesome buffs here. Could talk about a couple other things, but I'll leave it off. Yeah, make sure you check out the description down below for a link to the Google Sheets and for a link to my Discord server if that interests you. Also, make sure that you're subscribed if you have not already. That would be very, very helpful for me. And I thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.